I got fired from my corporate office job in London and left with £0 in 2024, and then transitioned myself and built myself up to making 5 to 6k plus per month with high ticket appointments. In this video, I am going to be showing you guys exactly how I did that and walking you guys through the journey of how I was able to build myself up again from getting fired, from being left with zero, okay, from being an overweight, fat kid, okay, with no social life, barely any confidence, barely any social skills, okay, to building the dream life, okay, traveling all around the world with my friends, making 5 to 6k plus per month and building myself up to being able to earn 6 figures a year, okay, whilst enjoying my life in the matter of 3 months, in the matter of 90 days, okay? And this was without a business, without a scammy get rich quick scheme, and actually whilst enjoying life more than I ever have. More than I ever have when I was working a corporate 9 to 5. More than I ever was when I had a boss nagging me every single day. Okay, and exactly how I was able to architect and build my dream life. So this was me in 2024. Okay, I was working a degree apprenticeship in London, aged 19. Here we've got fresh-faced David. You can't really see my face, but here I'm on all of my corporate uniform. I've got my little smart shoes on. I've got my little shirt on. I've got the jeans. You can see the Gucci belt. I was working a degree apprenticeship job in London, aged 19. And the way my life used to look like back then is I used to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, 5 to 6 a.m., travel 50 minutes into London, okay, into central London, okay? So you already know how crazy that gets at the age of 19. To work a 9 to 5, like a 9 to 5 corporate job in business development for a company that I absolutely hated and under a boss that absolutely made life hell for me. And then come home, commute another 50 minutes back to where I live and research and try and learn a skill and look at making money online, okay? I used to research all of these things. That these gurus preach: trading, e-commerce, social media marketing, every single thing under the sun that as a young teenager that you see online, you see on TikTok and you see on Instagram and that you see gurus mention, I looked at it. I watched YouTube videos, I researched and I tried to look at programs to understand these things because I wanted to live a life that I see all of these gurus living. I wanted to live the life of freedom, okay? I understood that I was working for someone else, and I understood that I was building someone else's dream, okay? Other than actually building myself up and building my own skills to actually, live that life. But I didn't know how to, okay? I didn't know how. I'd always fall for the shiny object syndrome, and I didn't actually know how I was going to be able to live the sort of life that I looked at, and I wanted to live. I saw all of these gurus preaching trading, e-commerce, SMMA, crypto, you name it, and I thought that was the way. So me, as a normal teenager would, I thought that was the way, and that's all I used to do. That's all I used to research, and that's all I used to make notes on, okay? At the time, I started learning about online side hustles and sales. And sales specifically, but I never went hard on it, okay? I learned about sales and I learned about side hustles, and I used to always research, but life was honestly so comfortable to the point where after working in London for a couple months, I gave up most ambition, okay? I was making 1 to 2k plus per month at 19 as a teenager, okay? So as a teenager, I could spend money on food, decent clothes, and alcohol with my friends going out on the weekend. I still live with my parents. I had all my really necessities taken care of. I could ask my parents for money here and there. And that was when I actually started to fall into the trap of comfortability, living a comfortable life. I mean, everything seemed figured out. I just had a clear path that I needed to follow, that, I'd be able to graduate from this degree apprenticeship, work this job for, 40 to 50 years, be comfortable, have just enough money to spend on the things I needed, and obviously as I grew up, be able to spend on my family, and life would be good, right? Life would be good. And that is where I started to give up. That's where I gave up on on my ambition. That's where I gave up on everything, and I just started to coast and really fall into that trap of just living a normal life that was painted out for me to live. Until shit hit the fan. Early 2024, I got fired from my job. Okay, suddenly, like all of a sudden, I remember waking up out of nowhere, having the meeting with my boss. I'll never forget that day. I woke up, I checked my calendar, and I saw I had a meeting with all of my managers, and I was a bit scared. I was asking all my colleagues, "Are you guys in this meeting too?" Early 2024, I got fired from my job all of a sudden, and I got left feeling stuck. I remember, I'll never forget this day when it happened, right? It was one of the, like, I've never cried that day. I've never cried so much that day in my life. I remember calling my mum that day when it happened and both crying, okay? And I wasn't crying out of the fact that, oh, I really like the job and that, oh, I wasn't going to find another job better than this. I was crying over the fact that I didn't know what I was going to do. I'd invested so much time into this job and it felt so much comfortable. I felt like I had my whole life figured out, all right? I had no backup plan. Okay. I remember calling my mum when it happened, like genuinely feeling like the world had fell on top of me because I had no backup plan. I felt like a disappointment, okay? All of my friends were at uni. All of my friends were all across the world learning and seemed like they were really enjoying life. And I was quite literally the only one left alone with no purpose. I had nothing to do. Like, this was a message from when it happened, okay? This was literally a conversation I had with my mum. This was when I called her and I was crying. She was like, yes, son, you only started in September. It's May, only a few months into the program. Don't worry. I don't want to see you crying. I broke down because I heard you crying. I've never seen you crying. I'd never cried like that ever in my life, okay? But I genuinely felt lost because, this thing that I'd been working towards, this thing that I almost got comfortable with, had just been taken under me. I hate seeing you crying. Don't tell people about this anyway. Okay, I was applying for jobs, but deep down I knew, because I still had that hunger that I had before I started this degree apprenticeship. Deep down I knew that I wanted more than just working another 9 to 5. I wanted more than just another boss, and I wanted more than just applying for another job, getting another job in London and having that exact same process again and having to start everything up again. Life felt stagnant for a couple weeks, which felt like months and years. Applying for jobs, having interviews, etc., but no real progress until I met my mentor. Okay, which, I'll be honest, was probably the best timing in my life ever. I met my mentor, as you'll see here, Temi Lowry, and I started really learning and really immersing myself about making money online. But not in a get-rich-quick online way, like most people will try and sell you online, in a real way. I started learning about building tangible skills that were valuable and that the world actually needed. Not SMMA, not dropshipping, not trading, not crypto. But I started learning about a real world skill that has been around for centuries. And I immersed myself deep into sales and appointment setting. And at that moment, those first months, my life genuinely, wholeheartedly changed. My life had changed, and I felt like I'd found what I'd obviously been missing for those months after that I'd lost my degree apprenticeship. I felt like I found my purpose. I had something to build on. Here's me and my mentor right now, okay, living life. But I felt like I found my purpose. I had something to build on and I had something to work on. And this matched every single thing that back when I was just an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 17-year-old boy that I wanted to do. Okay? It felt like this was my calling and it felt like this was my purpose. Here's how it went, okay? My first 1 to 3 months with learning sales and appointment setting, I made about 1,000 to 2,000 plus per month. This is a 200, please don't mind that. It's meant to be 2,000. And it wasn't life-changing, but it was more than I'd ever made online, okay? And I was learning. I was learning real skills. I was learning things that made me valuable, not only outside learning money, making money, but made me a better human being, with social skills, coming from that awkward kid that I used to be. Okay, in my 4th and 5th months, I started to learn how to be able to make 2,000 to 500 plus a month consistently. I was getting better at conversations. I was getting better at actually understanding what people I wanted, what the people that I was speaking to wanted. I was getting better at, learning, and I was getting better at doing my job at my craft, and it felt like a drug. I was getting better daily, working from home, and actually feeling free, connecting with successful business owners and working under them and learning how real businesses were run. Okay? All of those businesses that I'd seen online, I was able to work under them and do their sales for them, work under them and provide value under them because I had a real skill and I had something that I was able to provide value to them with. Okay? 6 months in, 6 months in, and I actually started to make real money. Okay, I started consistently hitting 4 to 5 grand per month, and I wasn't just making money as a setter. I wasn't just making money as a sales rep. I wasn't just making £4,000 to £5,000 per month, but I was learning how business actually worked. I was seeing how things were run behind the curtains. And I felt blessed and inspired, okay? All because of one skill that I dedicated hours and hours and hours into learning, which was appointment setting, okay? And now, I was genuinely starting to build a life I enjoyed. I was starting to prove myself and improve myself in all aspects of life. The gym, okay? If you guys go back to the pictures at the beginning, you can see I was a pretty overweight kid. And you can imagine all of the insecurities that came with that. Okay, but I was starting to go hard in the gym. This is me hitting my PB on a deadlift. I was starting to build a body that I was actually proud of. And I could actually take my shirt off and be proud of, okay? All because of the foundations that I was learning from getting good at sales. And, the real self-improvement foundations that I was having. I was starting to build a dream life and enjoy life. Okay, I was starting to be able to speak to women. Used to be a shy, overweight black kid with no social skills. Okay, and I was improving, of course, my money making online skills. In the span of half a year, I shifted my life on its head and I did a complete 360, all because I found my mission and I started to learn a tangible skill in appointment setting that was making it possible for me to start to live my dream life. And it was making it possible for me to become the best man I could be. Okay? And like I said, really craft exactly everything that I wanted to for my life. So now you're watching this video right now, and I've talked all about appointment setting. Let's get into what it actually was, and let's get into sales, and let's get into what actually made this happen for me. What is appointment setting? If you're seeing this right now, you've seen countless of business owners online, all selling mentorships, all selling products, and all helping people in tons of different ways. And the thing that all of these business owners have in common is that they need to book sales calls. They need to book sales calls in order for them to be actually able to sell their product. However, they have zero time to spend in the DMs sending messages, which is where appointment setters come into play right now. And you watching this video, this is where you start to take your mark and you start to provide value on the market. As a setter, your job is pretty simple. All you simply do is answer business owners' messages, handle their DMs, book them sales calls, and then take a commission on the deals that close. Okay, this can be done either on the DMs, over the phone, and you get paid on a commission, which is normally 10 to 15% of, the amount of the deal that closes with business owners selling anywhere from, £3,000 to £5,000 products. So anywhere from £300 to £500 per sale of the sales calls that you book. And industry standard for setters in the current market at the moment, with tons of business owners around, is about 3 to 5K plus per month with a good drop. It's pretty simple. Learning sales and learning appointment setting is pretty simple, but it's what's made me a 6-figure business owner and also helped my students see some sick results online and making sales. Okay, let's take a look at some. We've got Yestin Krause. Okay, Yestin started sales and started learning appointment setting in 2025 after trying numerous side hustles online. He tried trading, he tried Forex, he tried everything under the sun, everything that I've just talked about, okay? And he saw no real tangible success, okay? However, in a matter of months after starting sales, okay? Obviously, it didn't start easy as always, okay? I've literally got a student interview with him that I'll be able to link under this. He saw no tangible success, okay? But after picking up the skill, in a matter of months, okay, and perfecting sales and perfecting online appointment setting, he's now been able to earn 4 to 5 grand a month comfortably, travel all around the world, making money from his phone, and he's currently in South Africa living his dream life, all through mastering and learning appointment setting and getting really good at a basic skill of sales. Same for my student, Bruno Tiny. This is someone else who I've got a student interview with. Bruno Tiny is 20 years old as well, okay? And he started appointment setting after running a successful paid TikTok account that got banned. He had a successful, TikTok account business that got banned. It was making him at least anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7 grand a month whilst he was in school, whilst he was at uni, and he was making decent money as a kid. He perfected appointment setting and he perfected phone setting and put himself in a position where he dropped out of uni and is full-time appointment setting online, making money from his phone and from the comfort of his own home without having to follow a boss. The exact same thing for my other student, Anil Desoye. And the same with Anil, okay? Anil, being 18 years old at the moment, only been appointment setting and learning sales for about 4 months. And these are all real people, by the way. These are all people that you can literally message them and ask them about their journey. Only been appointment setting for 4 months. Has been able to find 2 offers that now make him anywhere from 3 to 5 grand per month, and is starting to explore the other aspects of sales too, okay, and learn and earn 5k plus per month from his phone in 4 months at the age of 18 while all of his friends are at uni. Okay, this is quite literally the vehicle and the thing that not only have I used to be able to earn a crazy amount of money and build a successful 6-figure business with the skills that I've learned, but it's what my students have been able to use and has been able to learn every single day. And I've walked you through it. It's extremely simple. Okay, and now there's so many more results that I could go into, okay? And there's so many more people I could talk about, these results and many more. But this isn't all because, and these success that you've been able to see my students win, my students have and, see me have. This isn't because they got lucky and started a get-rich-quick scheme that made them a millionaire overnight. It's all because they started an online skill and got so good at it to the point where they're able to add value to the marketplace and make realistic money as young men and travel all around the world, still making money and building them up to the point where they've got the skills and they've got the experience that now, no matter what, because they're good at sales, they're never going to be able to struggle to make money again. Same with me. I wholeheartedly know I'm never going to struggle to make money again because I know how to sell. Countless of other ones too that we can go into, and I'm sure if you look on my page as well, it's the exact same thing, okay? And all of this, just for you to see how possible all of this success actually really is. Sales and appointment setting is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I'd be lying here right now if I was showing you this video and telling you that this is going to make you a millionaire overnight and that it's easy. It's not easy, but it is simple. And once you get good at it, it will change your life, okay? The people who are the most successful at this, however, they don't quit when life gets hard. They don't quit when they don't see results. They see all their failures as lessons. They see all of their failures as things that are making them better. They show up every single day and they have a conqueror mindset, okay? Kind of like me. And that is why I love sales, okay? I could go on and on about why I love sales, but, the first reason why I love sales is that performance rewards drive, okay? Sales is one of the few skills in the marketplace and in the world where your effort directly equals your income. There's no politics, no waiting for promotions, there's no kissing ass. If you work hard, you get paid. If you don't work hard, you don't get paid. And it's actually fair, which is insanely rare in today's world. We've all worked jobs and we've all done things where we've worked so much harder than other people, but we've still got paid the same. And we've been left thinking, why did I work so hard if I was going to get the exact same result as everyone else? Okay? Sales rewards your drive. You get paid on the work you do. There's no real competition. Okay, most people don't understand that you're not competing against other people. You're competing against yourself. Okay, if I book 30 appointments this month and someone else books 10, we both get paid based on what we did. There's room for anyone who's willing to work. And I was always the type of person that I'm willing to outwork anyone, because I knew that coming back from the background that I had with no real skills, okay, no real, I wasn't academically talented. I had to be able to work hard in order to get where I needed to get to. A limited growth potential. The beautiful thing about sales is that there's no income ceiling, okay? If you master the basics, you can earn 3 to 5K per month. And if you get really good, you can earn anywhere from 8 to 10K plus per month, okay? There's setters in the marketplace and there's sales reps making anywhere from 15K plus per month, okay? There's real opportunity, okay? Once you start to understand how business works as well, you can really start to build your own empire and really take the skills that you've learned and put them into something even bigger, kind of exactly like how I did. And finally, you've got complete life freedom. Sales gives you something most jobs never will, which is control over your time and location. I work from my bedroom, coffee shops, Thailand, Cyprus. I just came back from holiday. I work from wherever I want, okay, whilst traveling, as long as I hit my numbers. And it's the exact same with my setters as well. As long as you hit your numbers, nobody cares when or where you work, and that is real freedom. I'll keep this next part simple. You see my story, you understand the steps that I took, and you've seen the wins, you know what's possible. All you watching this video right now is you need to take action, and you need to do what I do and take that next step into changing your life and living the life that every single young person dreams of, which is building freedom and building a skill for themselves that liberates them and allows them to live a life that they want to live. So you can book in a call with me, okay, down below. You'll see a link down below. Okay, you can book in a call with me and we can have a chat and see if the correct next steps are for you to do the exact same thing that I've just walked you through, that I've done, and that all of my other students have done. Okay, you can get insight on your next steps, real value on how you can actually make your steps, and I'll be able to give you the clarity that you need to see success. Okay, DM me book on Instagram. Literally book in all capitals. I will literally get back to you personally, or whoever. I'll get back to you personally, whether we were having a conversation or whether we haven't spoke before, and I'll book you in on a call with me personally. This is a paid mentorship, okay? Paid mentorship, guaranteed to get placed on a higher ticket sales, appointment setting, dialing, or close an offer within 90 days, or you get your money back, okay? So book in a call with me, DM me book, and we'll be able to see if we can help you do the same. And I'll be able to walk you through exactly on some specific insights that I would have given you myself personally if I was back in your position. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you soon.